Good evening and welcome to tonight's regional news. The government of Dominica says it will soon decide on the date to end the free testing of persons for COVID-19 after indicating that some people were taking the tests as a means of not taking the vaccines available to stem the curve of the virus. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt on Sunday night told viewers that the cost of the free testing is borne by the taxpayers and one which government could avoid and, I quote, could benefit all of us. There are small business people who are asking for money, but I do take the monies we are spending on COVID-19 and give it to businesses and let people die. But if we minimize the number of people who get infected, we can have the resources to help people, end of quote. To date, 3,293 people in Dominica have tested positive for COVID-19. 15 have died. We now turn to Grenada. Grenada's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell has empathized with doctors, nurses, and other frontline healthcare workers across the country who have been at the forefront of Grenada's fight against COVID-19. In recent weeks, with the country's transition to community spread and the increase in the number of COVID-19 cases, healthcare workers have been put under immense pressure as they provide care to the increased number of people requiring medical intervention. Just earlier this week, up to 12 deaths were recorded in a 24-hour period. The Prime Minister assured the healthcare providers that they will be duly recognized and rewarded for their role in this unprecedented battle. We now tell you that Hurricane Sam is expected to remain a major hurricane for several days. That's according to the National Hurricane Center. With maximum sustained winds near 130 miles per hour with higher gusts, Sam is moving toward the northwest across the Atlantic. An increase in forwarding speed is estimated to begin on Thursday. Swells generated by Sam will reach the Lesser Antilles Monday and impact these islands for the next several days. However, these swells could cause life-threatening surf and rip current conditions. And internationally, thousands of British gas stations ran dry Sunday, an industry group said, as motorists scrambled to fill up amid a supply disruption due to a shortage of truck drivers. The Petrol Retailers Association, which represents almost 5,500 independent outlets, said about two-thirds of its members were reporting that they had sold out their fuel, with the rest, I quote, partly dry and running out soon, end of quote. Association Chairman Brian Matterson said the shortages were the result of panic buying, pure and simple. Long lines of vehicles formed at many gas stations over the weekend and tempers frayed as some drivers waited for hours. The haulage industry says the UK is short tens of thousands of truckers due to the coronavirus pandemic, an aging workforce, and an exodus of foreign workers following Britain's Brexit departure from the European Union last year. After weeks of mounting pressure, the UK's Conservative government announced Saturday that it will issue thousands of emergency visas to foreign truck drivers. The government said it would issue 5,000 three-month visas for truck drivers starting in October and another 5,500 for poultry workers. And finally, federal investigators are seeking the cause of an Amtrak trail derailment near a switch on tracks in the middle of vast farmland in far northern Montana that killed 3 people and left 7 hospitalized over the weekend. The westbound Empire Builder was traveling from Chicago to Seattle when it left the tracks about 4 p.m. Saturday near Joplin, a town of about 200. Amtrak spokesman Jason Abrams said the train was carrying about 141 passengers and 16 crew members. It had 2 locomotives and 10 cars, 8 of which derailed, with some tipping onto their sides. Alan Zarambisky, director of the University of Delaware's Railway Engineering and Safety Program, said he did not want to speculate but suspected the derailment stemmed from an issue with the train track equipment or both. That was all for tonight's regional news. Thank you for joining.